Good morning, Warriors, and thank you for tuning in to the last episode of the Worship Warrior podcast, at least for season 1. We've made it. Thank you guys for being with us almost every Wednesday for our first trial at this thing called a podcast. So without further ado, for the last time in the studio, I am Michael Zapata, and this is Anna Laura with You Don't Suck College Does episode 12. Let's get right into it. Something's different.
Oh, yeah. What's up? What's different?
They're not seeing our faces. Why is that?
Oh, no. Are you going to tell them about the creature that stole our cameras and ate them?
It was wild, guys. You should have been there. It was just like, it was this 7 foot, right? It was like 7 feet, you guess?
Yeah.
Tall creature.
Yeah.
His name was Esteban. He told me that. I don't know if he told you that.
No.
We really got to
he
bond.
Just was too busy eating my camera.
Yeah, well, he really bonded over my camera.
Yeah.
It turns out his mother had the same one.
Ah, mothers.
Yeah. Tell you what, they are simply monsters. Anyway. So basically, to give some clarification, my camera, as in my phone, got absolutely destroyed this past weekend.
Got wrecked.
It got wrecked. I dropped it 2 stories.
It wasn't funny. I saw like the aftermath because it was like literally in the middle of the performance.
Oh yeah, I was playing. To give some, let's tell the story a little bit. So, all right. So there, do you want to tell it?
No, you tell it.
All right, blah. So there I was, because I'm a bass player, right? So I play instruments and all that stuff. I've talked about that before.
Right.
So I'm playing bass, and my lovely co-host / girlfriend is up, actually down there watching me. So
not even watching you.
Actually, yeah, she's not even watching me. But we're up there. It's an outside event. It's around 2:00, and we're 2 stories high, right? And so it's outside. So it's like we're on like a porch deck kind of thing. And so, like, you know, like the wooden area, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like a wood. I'll probably show a picture.
It was like a wooden deck.
It's like a wooden deck. I'll show a picture of it for sure, because that'd be funny if that person came in here. Anyway, I'll get to that in a second. But it was like a wooden deck with like cracks in the middle between each panel.
Like the spaces in between.
There were spaces in the floor, which already should have been a red flag. I didn't even think about it. So I'm playing bass, right? And I'm like, let's go. And then like the drummer hits his kick drum, and then the phone I'm watching the chord sheet on just like falls. And I'm like, yeah, no. And I'm watching it the whole way, dude. Like literally, I'm playing. I see the whole thing. It feels like it's falling for like 3 years. It's falling, and it hits. And I look, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know any of these chords.
That is wild.
It was insane, dude. But yeah, and I went up to you after. Anyway, that's why we're not recording.
And I literally see the singer like sing down the stairs.
Yeah.
To get Michael's phone.
No, yeah, he's like
still singing.
He's doing like a Frank Sinatra thing where he was just singing off the stage, you know.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he did that.
It was wild.
Yeah. So because like after the first song, he was like, "Guys, I felt good, right? How was that?" And I was like, "My phone fell."
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh my God, I'll be right back."
And that's all I saw. I saw him going downstairs, and I was like, why is he doing that? And then later to find that Michael completely wrecked his phone.
Wrecked it, dude. It doesn't work anymore. So, well, actually, it works. It doesn't. You can't see it.
It doesn't work anymore.
It doesn't work anymore, guys. It doesn't work. So, I think it's fitting for the last episode, because if I had to sum up this season 1 in one word, it would be adapting. Adapting to everything around us.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, yeah.
It hasn't been as smooth as you would picture, right?
No, absolutely not.
But we've made it to the last one. Like the scheduled last one. Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
That's
it
wild.
really is.
how do you feel about how this season turned out? How was it from your perspective?
Well, it was nice just to see it go from a conversation we had last semester,
right,
to like it's sprouting to a couple videos here and there, and then taking winter break to really
decide what
what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And you know, honestly, dude, like, you gave me such a great opportunity. Yeah, because it wasn't until winter break where you were like, well, you know, let's do this together. I was just a guest.
That's true.
For the first couple of
because
Worship Warriors.
To give some backstory, I mean, I wanted to do a podcast. That was my idea. Not to say like I'm not.
Yeah, whatever.
That came out kind of wrong, but like it was my initial thought to do that, right?
Yeah.
And I told you that, and I was like, I want to do something for musicians, you know, and like music and all that stuff, and that's what I did. But you know, I had you as my first guest, and I was just like, well, you're really good on the microphone. I didn't really know that because I knew you were in theater, but you'd never shown any interest in it. So it was a shock. And I was like, well, let's just do this together, you know?
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot better than talking to yourself. I was trying to map out, like, when I was doing it by myself.
Yeah.
I was like, how do you do a podcast by yourself with no guests? Like, it's like, I don't get that much charisma, bro.
I saw a bunch of outtakes of that.
I was really shy in front of the camera, and I was really shy talking, and I still kind of am.
That's another thing, though. Just watching you grow has been amazing. Like, if we were to jumble the first "Good Morning Worship Warriors," it'd start from like "Good Morning Worship Warriors" to now it's like "Good Morning Worship Warriors."
Heck yeah, dude.
There's definitely been a huge change in you.
It's been fun, and it definitely, I mean, if anything else, this has been a growth opportunity for me, for both of us.
Our relationship,
everything, dude.
Yeah.
And it's been a blessing. Y'all have been a blessing to us, everybody who listens. And I mean, it's just, I'm excited because this is not the end of the podcast. Like, we're just taking a break. And to give reasons as to why, well, first off, the semester is ending, so that would end the college thing.
Yeah, and Michael's graduating.
And I am graduating, which is crazy. So a lot of life things are about to happen. I'm graduating, figuring all that out, what that looks like, what the next steps are. And, you know, I want to be able to do this whenever I fully can. So taking a break is a great idea. We're going to hone this in, and we're going to come back, and I'm saying this now live. My goal is to have everything actually working because that was such a difficult thing.
It was wild.
Trial and error is a real deal, but you know,
we'll hopefully have like a solid space.
I know we will. You know, I'm praying for it right now. We definitely will have a solid space. That's definitely the biggest challenge, is working with the environment, you know?
Yeah,
with it, forever changing environment. But that'll be different now. So that's exciting. So what exactly are we doing this summer? So my plan is to get a job, obviously. I've had some job interviews. I have one tomorrow, so that's fun. I'm doing this right now. It's super late.
Heck yeah.
But, you know, what are you doing? What are your plans for the summer?
My plans for the summer is, believe it or not, to work till I drop dead.
Good one. But you got to be alive for this, at least.
Yeah. Well, I have, right now I'm working at Freebirds. It's a burrito place. I'm looking into getting a second job for the summer.
Yeah.
Just, I need to keep myself busy.
Yeah.
And be,
to get money?
Just to really reel it in, money-wise for the summer. Because then I start school back up.
Yeah,
in the fall.
Questioning it.
Yeah, in the fall.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
And then also, just we're not gonna stop creating content either. I might for a little bit, but just a little teaser,
like
something
2 weeks,
like a couple of weeks. But there's something very much in the works that's very close to getting done. Mm-hmm. So keep your eyes out. It'll probably still be in the podcast channel as well.
I'm actually really excited for this next thing.
Me too. Yeah, no. I mean, come on.
Excited.
We can't just stop doing things. That's not who we are.
This is actually sorry, I just want to talk a little bit more about this because I am so excited.
Yeah, go for it.
That I'm just so excited.
Yeah.
Just because Michael sucks and everyone's going to be able to see.
Oh my God. This is gonna be instead of you don't suck colleges, Michael sucks, but nobody else does. To give some insights, it'll be a gaming themed. It'll be definitely a challenge based style of content, completely different from the I hear what you're saying and you're right on that.
And I love you.
Yeah, this is gonna be hardcore. Like, winner's gonna win, loser's gonna be a loser for the rest of their life.
Because we're pretty competitive.
You haven't seen that side, but we are very, very competitive.
Yeah.
I'm excited to share that part of us.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm also a little nervous.
Yeah, I'm gonna tone it down. I've already gotten some complaints from Michael.
Well, yeah, just a little bit.
That I need to tone it down on my competitive side.
Oh.
But I argue that he's the same. So.
That's true. I'm not that great either. But yeah. So keep an eye out for that because it's definitely coming soon. In other news, we have a very interesting theme for the last episode. This is something I don't think we actually talked about, but it's something that I wanted to talk about. The importance of self-care.
Self-care.
How's that for you?
How
is your self-care? What's your routine? What would you say your routine is for that?
If I wake up and say today's going to be a self-care day, or like the things I do in the day for self-care?
Let's say the things you do in a day.
First thing for me is I carve out time for hair and makeup. That is just my version of self-care.
Yeah.
I love sitting down.
Yeah.
It takes me like an hour to do both hair and makeup if I want to take my time.
Right.
It's just a beautiful time for me.
Mm-hmm.
I love doing that. So that's self-care for me. A good shower at night. Really pull all the stops.
Absolutely, yeah. A good shower.
Yeah.
Not one of them bad showers.
Not one of them bad showers.
No. This is like that good water, right?
Take your time, exfoliate.
Dude, right? You're like not in a rush.
Yeah.
That's what you do it at night, right?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
At night.
I do mine in the morning, and that's my self-care thing. Is I do my showers in the morning because it wakes me up. The one thing I have to do every morning to like kind of prep myself is I really do a lot of work on my face. So like I know if I have a lot of time to like moisturize and put in what is that stuff called? Like the face wash. Why did I forget that word?
You face wash and then you moisturize.
Face wash and then moisturize, all that stuff. If I have enough time to like comb the beard out,
mm-hmm.
and like that's like it feels really good. And you're just feeling fresh,
sure. Yeah.
And I also like, I struggle with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like taking care of yourself because I am so busy, and I know everybody's busy.
Yeah.
So like, it's like, man, I could be doing so much more,
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard for me to, it's hard for me to relax. It's very difficult.
Yeah, I try.
To what?
To get him to relax.
Yeah.
It's really, it actually, believe it or not, causes fights.
Yes, that's true. That's
I'm
so
like,
true.
Michael, just sit down. And he's like,
and I'm like
no.
twitching. No, gotta go. Yeah, you wouldn't think that from me, by the way, if you know me, because I seem very relaxed most of the time. But truthfully, I don't view free time as free time anymore, and that's kind of been a new issue. I wasn't always like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think as you grow up, you kind of develop that, like who you are, and so I'm starting to realize that that's who I am.
Yeah.
I'm a very busy-minded person, so I like to keep things going.
Yeah.
Rather than slowing down. But that's not good. You shouldn't do that.
I'm going to say the only reason sometimes it's not good is because you tend to like leave things like spinning in your head.
Yeah.
You never have like a pause in your day.
Right.
Like even at night it's still spinny and it takes you a long time to like, okay, I'm going to watch like 30 minutes of something.
Yeah.
Or like, okay, I'm going to take 40 minutes of the day to like play a game.
Yeah, no cap. And it's like, you remember that example you gave? I was scheduling out what we were going to do, and then like I had to schedule in fun or whatever.
Oh my
and
gosh,
you were making fun of me for it.
You literally scheduled in fun. But like, I will say one of the things is like, we'll schedule in fun or whatever, or we'll say we're doing fun. And then like, during it, he's like, well, I got to do this, or I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. And I'm like, dude, chill out.
This is not the time. I feel like I've been really trying to do better.
You've been getting way better.
Like, whenever, because I think what's really important, and guys, this is some advice, and I'm learning right now, is that when you're with your person, or even when you're with your friends, it's so important to be there, and that's something I have to learn, and I'm learning, but I think I'm getting better.
You're getting way better.
Because when we're at like a dinner date or something, like I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm intentionally being there, and it's
yeah.
It doesn't sound like it sounds bad to say like I have to try to be there. It's not because of you. But it's like I really do my best to like not let anything get in the way of like I don't think about what are we gonna talk about next week, or when am I gonna finally record that piano piece, when I'm it's just you and me, and I try to do that. I think it's been getting better.
You've been getting a lot better, actually.
Thank you very much. So this leads me to my question, actually. So what gets in the way of my taking care of myself and like making sure I'm okay mentally and making sure all that stuff is like my busyness? What gets in the way for you?
I don't know. I
don't know.
Well, it's because I hate this, but like I feel like it always leads back to it.
What is it?
Just myself.
What do you mean?
Whatever.
Yourself? What do you mean by that?
I stop myself from self-care, okay?
All right, what does that look like for you? Elaborate on it. It's okay.
Oh my gosh, we talk about it every episode. Okay.
What's important? What is it?
Whatever, I'm depressed.
Sometimes, yeah, right. Yeah. You are depressed. Let's get into that.
Some days are harder than others. Some days I wake up and I'm like, alrighty, let's get down to business. I do my self-care. I'm ready to go. And I mean, you notice those days.
Yeah, I do.
I think Michael can tell when I'm having a good day, when I'm having a bad day now.
It's instant, dude. It's right off the bat. You can't fool me anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like, you try to lie to me. But it's just something about your mannerisms, and it's a good way of describing it, because like I remember we like a couple of days ago, we were walking and I was like, what's wrong, what's bothering you? And I was like I was trying to make light of it, so I was like pushing you, like, why are you mad,
yeah.
And I was just like trying to make light of it, but you were like, I'm not mad. Just because there's no bubbles coming out of my mouth doesn't mean like I'm not happy. I'm happy. And then like I was like, oh my gosh. And I was right. It was a bad day.
Yeah.
And so like that's how I can kind of tell. I do see the bubbles coming out of your mouth. And when I don't, it usually means that something's going on in your head.
Yeah, I have a big contrast in personalities.
Yeah, it's very different.
So yeah, so on those days, it's harder to do self-care. I don't really do it at all, if anything.
Yeah.
I barely do the bare minimum of like what I have to do that day. Yeah. And then the rest of the day, I can't even tell you what I'm doing. Right. I'm like walking around in like a fog.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'll get a text from Michael and he'll be like, dinner, and I'll be like, okay, I guess.
Yeah. I remember one of the biggest challenges, and this is just like real talk, for people who are going through depression, they get it. The biggest challenge, I don't know if you remember this, but like getting you to go out eat was very hard. Yeah. You really did not want to go eat, and I knew you had to eat. Like that's taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
And so one thing I did, I remember, you saw through me, but it still worked, because I remember I was going to your dorm to pick you up. It was like very early in the relationship, and I knew you were depressed. Like, I knew that before we started dating.
Yeah. And
so I knew you were gonna have days like this, and so I knocked on your door. You remember this? And then like I knew it was unlocked, right?
Oh yeah.
I knew it was unlocked because you had said so or something like that. And so I knocked, and I knocked, and I knocked, and I was like, she's gonna get up. I'm gonna make her get up. And I made you get up to open the door.
Yeah.
It was something as simple as that. And you said you opened it, and you were like, you knew it was unlocked. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, but look, you're up. You're ready to go. Come on.
You shoved me out the door.
It was get you out of bed. And sometimes you have to do that, I think.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? What do you think of that kind of technique? Because you're actually in it.
No, you're right. Yeah. If you're not being pushed out, you're not getting out.
Yeah, and I was. Oh, go ahead.
And Michael's been a great help. Like, yeah. I mean, I think, like when I do have bad days, they themselves have been getting better. Like I still have the same emotions and feelings, but I have a little bit more drive.
Yeah.
Like I would like skip lunch and breakfast and dinner if not for Michael. Like I would not have eaten like at all.
Yeah.
And I would have just stayed in my room, but I guess just being with Michael and like following, I guess growing in God is kind of gives you a little more strength.
Yeah, I think so too. And that's one thing I'm like it's so hard. I don't know. It is kind of difficult to explain like the work of God and like how that really works, but like you can see it in your life when you start to follow, you know. Can you attest to that? Like,
yeah, for sure.
For me too, like a big part of my testimony is that like I guess we're not even going into my testimony all the way. Oh well, next season. Like a big part of my testimony, to give some hints, is like I've never been depressed actually. Mm-hmm. But you know, I deal with the other
flip of the coin.
Yeah, the other flip of the coin, which is anxiety. I deal with a lot of that. And that's like it's horrible. And so like I remember just feeling like there was really no point, because you know, no matter what I did, I was just never gonna be who I wanted to be, you know. Mm-hmm. And so it was like there was really no point in trying. So that sounds so sad, but it's true.
Yeah.
But like, you know, when I started to really follow God, and it was like in the summer, it was like my sophomore year, the summer of that. That's when it felt like I was free. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard to explain, but it was just like, wow, like that's not true, you know. And it's like you really don't. You hear that all the time, like that stuff's not true. Like you are somebody, but it's like you don't really believe it until you start like seeing it for yourself and following the word, and like, oh, it says it right here. I see what you're saying now, you know. Mm-hmm. And then you start seeing things change in your life, and it's really incredible. So, you know, if you're in that stage right now where it's like you're dealing with one of these illnesses, you know, depression, if you're depressed, if you're just feeling anxious all the time, or if it's something else that we haven't even talked about, you know, it sucks in the midst of it. And I get it. We've both been there. It doesn't feel like you're going to get out, no matter who's around you. But there is a way. And, you know, putting your complete trust and faith in that is the first step. So I have a verse for us. 1 Peter 5:7. I'm reading NIV version. It simply says, "Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you." Simple verse. 1 Peter 5:7. Go back and read that if you're ever dealing with this. Cast all your anxiety on him simply because he cares for you. That's all it takes, right? And it's like, why does God care about me? He just does. And it's like crazy, right? We didn't have to earn any of that. And I'm kind of going off on a rant, and I apologize.
You're good.
But,
on.
You know, it's just, I love talking about that part of my testimony, because it's, that feeling of loneliness and hopelessness is one of the darkest things you can feel. And it leads you, it led me to do a lot of things that were uncharacteristic, because I felt like there was no point in life anymore. And when you get out of that and you start seeing change, it really, all you want to do is talk about it. All you want to do is show people that, like, there's like another, like, I get it. I was there too, and like it still creeps up on me. Like I still get anxiety, and I still have to keep that in check. I still have to keep taking care of myself, and I still have to.
It's something you still struggle with.
Right, absolutely. But it's like, it's not dark anymore, and that's what's crazy about it. And I know, and I was talking about this with you like yesterday. Mm-hmm. You know, I do feel this sometimes where it's like, oh, no matter what happens in life, I'm always going to be anxious, or a little bit anxious. And it's like, I know, and I hope, and I believe, and I pray that that's not true. Mm-hmm. And that one day I'm going to be rid of it completely. And, you know, this light that I'm seeing is only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger until it's just, it's there.
Yeah.
You know? I'm done.
For sure, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else you got? Sorry, I went off on a big tangent.
It wasn't a big tangent.
Let me check the audio. Wow, I said a lot of things. Okay.
It wasn't a big tangent.
Yeah, really?
It was solid, yeah.
Thank you. But yeah, I mean that's how I view it. I don't know if you have any more comments on that or what you think.
I think you said it beautifully.
Thank you.
Yeah.
In that case, I'm going to transition to another verse. We can talk about that. So have you read 1 Corinthians?
I've not only read 1 Corinthians, I've read 2nd and 3rd and a little bit 5th.
I think there's something wrong with that.
No, I haven't read 1 Corinthians.
I was like, there's a 3rd.
I was kidding.
You had me doubting for a second. That's so funny. So 1 Corinthians 6:19 through 20. Do you know? Oh, sorry, I done messed it up. Do you not know? Completely different, by the way. Do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you have received from God? You are not your own. You were bought at a price. Therefore, honor God with your bodies. What's that mean to you?
I've heard this verse a lot, actually.
Yeah, in what regard?
I've heard this verse a lot when it comes to like tattoos.
Yeah, that's the first thing I see is a tattoo.
Yeah, like body pierce. My mom would always pull this verse out.
Yeah.
But now I don't associate that with that at all.
Okay, what do you see?
I associate that a lot with self-harm.
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. Talk about that.
Yeah, like if anyone's ever struggled with self-harm, this is such a great verse for that.
Right.
And I mean, I've looked into it before. Such a great verse, like taking care of yourself, it's not harming yourself. And God made you, and I know sometimes people struggle with it's self-harm. It's a real issue.
Absolutely.
No, a lot of people struggle with that. And it's like God gave you such a beautiful body, no matter what that body is. Such a powerful verse.
That's awesome. You remember that TikTok you showed me about the youth pastor trying to connect with the kids?
Yeah.
I reminded myself of that. I said, that sounds so awesome. Thank you for sharing. Now it's time for cookies and milk. But seriously, that's like that kind of just I'm stunned because I never thought of it like that. Yeah, that's such a good message. Yeah, absolutely. I'm still doing it. But
absolutely. Absolutely.
That's so cool. I think of it in a lot of ways. It's like
the tattoos.
Not the tattoos as much. I did hear it. I heard a lot.
I heard. That's what I'm saying, but right? This is the go-to tattoo.
To ease your mind, Mom, because I know you're listening. I don't even want a tattoo, so you don't even worry about that. I see it in what in the sense of that, and then what we put, in our bodies, what we see, and then again what we're talking about today,
so true. What we see.
What we see is a good one, right?
A big one.
Yeah. Just imagine, I feel because I don't think about this all the time, but if I thought about God living inside me, he's a guest.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want him to see some of the stuff.
Some of the stuff you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And it would definitely change a lot of things.
Yeah, that's kind of scary.
Oh, it's horrifying, right? And if you look to your left, God, don't look there.
Oh God.
Oh no. I thought we cut that out.
That's so true. I never saw it like that. What you see.
Yeah, I hear that a lot whenever and when I say hear, I mean when I read that, that's what sticks out to me. I mean, that's because that's what I'm supposed to hear.
That's so true. That's so true. Because let me tell you, that's what popped up in your head.
Yeah.
But then the self-harm image popped up.
Came up right. I didn't even think about that, and that's so true.
I didn't think of yours.
Wow. The Bible.
The Bible.
Now exclusively.
The Word.
Now at Best Buy.
Yeah. So everyone just that's kind of beautiful.
Right. It's pretty crazy. There's so many ways to interpret the Bible, which is also scary. Because you get people that interpret it very wrong.
Yeah, but I feel like like I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like when it's not what God is saying.
I agree with you. Because there's a way. I don't know. I don't remember if it's like a diagram or like it's something like I saw. I don't even remember who showed it to me. Probably was my dad. I don't know, but it was like how to tell if like it's God's voice, and it was like.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about because I saw it from your dad.
That's what it was. It was like a snap, wasn't it?
I saw it from
his dad. It was like
a
story.
It's like on his Insta.
Oh, check his Insta.
I saw the same thing. Yeah.
Instagram's right there. Oh my God. You have so many shortcuts.
Okay, whatever.
And you also never have service.
Whatever, go on.
You're the only phone between us right now, and you never have service.
Oh look, your mom posted your
my
graduation photo.
Because I'm graduating. I'm getting distracted.
I sent her exclusives.
Yeah, I took graduation photos today, which was it's so weird to do that stuff because then like you do it on campus and then people walk by, and then they're like, "Congratulations."
Here. This one?
Perfect. So there's this post. Follow my dad at imzapata73. He posts some fire content.
Oh, but also follow his mom.
No. Yeah, follow my mom too if you want to. It's Gloria_Zap. So God's voice. It's like so to describe what I'm seeing, and I'll put a picture of it probably. We'll see.
Probably.
God's voice versus Satan's voice. And then so God's voice stills you. Satan's voice rushes you. That's what kind of God's voice leads you. Satan's voice pushes you, right? God's voice reassures you. Satan's voice frightens you. So it's like these very it's like these words that are like, they almost mean the same thing. Mm-hmm. But that's why it gets so confusing. So that's why you like pay attention to your mind. Like, does it feel like this voice in my head is like saying, "Do this now, do this now, do this now," Yeah. Because that doesn't feel right, Because it feels like you're trying, like the voice is trying to take advantage of a certain moment.
Yeah, a certain
feeling. And then I'll just read this last little 2 paragraphs. So it says, God is never early and He's never late. He's always right on time, and His plans for you are good. God is a God of love and order. If the voice you are hearing doesn't sound like those things, then you are not. Oh man, I hit something. Then they are not from Him. Yeah. What do you think of that?
I think that's true.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's a good picture.
Yeah, let me see.
That's me. That's not me. That guy right there.
That is not you.
Oh, it is. Look.
Oh snap! That is you.
Sorry, we're on Instagram.
I'm down there
now.
giving tattoos.
Yeah, you are. We're on Instagram now. But yeah, what do you think of that?
That's so true. I saw it too. That's why I was like.
You knew what I was talking about.
Yeah,
I totally thought I saw it somewhere. Yeah. Shout out to my dad for that. But yeah, absolutely. Any more on that? You're distracted.
No.
Any more on that?
I need my phone for my fun fact.
Oh, I'll give it to you in a second.
Okay.
Any more on that?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if not, we are going to transition so we can do Anna's fun fact of the day. What you got for us today?
All right, so in honor of the summer, I have an amazing fact about the animal of every summer. The summer animal everyone loves to hate.
Okay, let's do it.
Mosquitoes.
Oh God, I hate mosquitoes. Man, I don't even love to hate them. I want them to all perish.
Ready?
Okay.
Fun fact. Mosquitoes are the deadliest animal in the world. They kill more people than any other creature due to the disease they carry.
I thought it was because of the guns they carry in their back pocket.
Yep. That's a fact.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. I do believe that, though. That's not that hard to believe because they carry so much disease.
Mosquitoes are...
And they're everywhere, dude. We saw like 50 of them taking pictures today. They suck.
Yeah, we also saw a lot of worms. It was scary.
Dude, our whole place is infested with worms. Our campus, like our school campus, and I get it. We're on a preserve. We have to save the animals. But, like, we have to save the worms.
They're going to turn into beautiful butterflies.
Not unless I kill them. Gasp. Dude, there's just so much. And then, like, they fall on your food, and then, like, you're eating your apple, and then there's a worm that's like, hello.
That's so true. One time I went from the dining hall, and I had a waffle.
Yep.
And, we went back into the dorm, and there was a worm on my waffle.
Yeah.
And it was very sad.
And she still ate it.
No, I had to throw the whole waffle away.
That's horrible, dude.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. So
it was horrible.
worms.
But, like, mosquitoes kill lots of people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So would you rather have mosquitoes or worms?
I'd rather have mosquitoes.
If you had to eat 1,000 mosquitoes or 1,000 worms, which one would you eat?
Mosquitoes? What the heck?
Okay, if you had to eat 1,000 mosquitoes but only 20 worms.
Mosquitoes.
Are you serious?
I couldn't eat a single worm.
You
What are
couldn't
you
eat a
talking
single
about? No
worm?
way. Are you kidding me?
Even like fried
No.
in
What?
like some sauce.
No way.
People eat bugs. You've never eaten a bug?
Never.
I've eaten a bug. It was bacon and cheese flavor. They were crickets. I bought them in San Antonio.
Are you proud of this?
Yeah, they taste like hairy peanuts.
That's
Like
disgusting.
they're crunchy and they literally taste like peanut butter, except it feels like there's a couple of hairs in your mouth.
That's
And I
horrible.
feel like it's because of the like little leg hairs and
Yeah,
stuff.
because they don't shave.
It was so weird.
Those crickets aren't taking care of themselves.
It was so weird.
Yeah. Oh, man. This has nothing to do with mosquitoes, but I made a dad joke.
Really?
Remember that?
Yeah, you make like a lot of them now.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. He's like graduating college and cracking nothing but dad
Dude,
jokes.
because we were at Chili's.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I was so mad. Give him the backstory though.
Okay, so there we are at Chili's. I'm being my stud self, right? And I got a table for us. And then so, I pull up to the joint and I'm like, Michael Zapata. You might know me. They actually did know us. I was kind of embarrassed.
Yeah.
They were like, I was like, man, we here.
You're like,
Yeah, the hostess was like, weren't y'all just here? All right, calm down. Do you want our money or not? And then so we have our food, you know what I mean? And then like the bill comes, right? And so like if you've been to Chili's, the bill's on this little mini kiosk and you just pay right there at the table. So I open up the kiosk. I'm like, okay, let's pay this bill. I click it. The boy says $0. I said, the thing says $0. So you know what I did? I called the waitress over, right? I was like, we gotta tell her, right? Because it's definitely not $0. Comes over. She's like, I'm like, excuse me, ma'am. She's like, yes. And I'm like, so our ticket says 0. Which, I mean, if it is, I'm fine with it. I'll pay that happily.
Here's the thing though, like, there's been so many conversations we've had.
That was a joke, by the way.
Where me and Michael, we've both worked in the service industry.
Yeah.
So we're both like, man, don't you hate when people make that joke when something rings as a 0? And they're like, well, it's free then, right? Like, we hate that joke.
What's different when I
and
said
he
it?
turned around and backstabbed every service career employee in the world and said that joke. And laughed.
It was so funny.
And expected me to laugh with him.
She laughed. She liked it.
I did not.
It's funny because like it's just right. It's like right there. It's
I want
different.
you to know that you justifying
totally
it
different.
makes it even more dad
It's totally
joke.
different because it's like, the opportunity presented itself. I didn't choose. I didn't go out of my way.
That's exactly what they always
I never
think.
go out of my way to talk. It was just there. I had to take it.
That's exactly what they all say.
Well, hey, if it's 0, I'll pay that right now.
I was like, gonna walk away.
Take my card. Take 2 of them.
Do you take cash?
Can I have some change back?
You make a mockery out of the service industry.
I'm not in the service industry anymore, though, so I can do whatever I want. Anyway, thank you for that fun fact. We got off the rails, but we're gonna come back together now. Bring the music back down to the mellow
Bloop,
jello.
bloop, 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 bloop. That's the music.
Not
Go ahead,
mellow.
take
That's
it
not
off.
at all what it sounds like. Okay, so we could talk about this, but I feel like we're gonna do this instead. Psychology. You love psychology.
I love psychology.
You're a psychology major. I think we're gonna close out the episode with a little psychology article that I found.
In Psychology Today. Classic.
Okay, I don't know much about it. All right, apparently this is from Cheyenne.
Guten Tag.
Ali, something like that. She's a modern mentality. Anyway, so the cost of caring without self-care. I mean, I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but like, just say I if you've dealt with it, and let's talk about it. So, would you say you're a person that cares for others even though you have, no emotional energy left?
Yeah.
What does it look like for you?
It's draining.
Yeah.
Okay, look, I don't want to say it's so draining because like another person could be having like a crappy day and you're also having a crappy day, but you like feel bad for that person so badly that you're like, okay, we'll put my crappy day on hold.
Yeah.
And deal with your crappy day.
Yeah.
But then it's like every single day, and the next thing you know, you've had a crappy life.
Wow. How old are you? That's true though.
5. I'm 21. I feel like especially if you're an empath out there, you get what I'm saying.
What?
You know what an empath is?
No. Is that like a surgery?
No, it's like someone who like can like feel people's emotions.
Oh, yeah. I don't get
so
that.
Well.
I'm not good at that, yeah.
It's like so draining.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, and it's okay. And this is an issue that I've struggled with. If Michael's having an anxious day, I'm having an anxious day. If Michael's having a sad day, I'm having sad. If Michael's angry, then I'm upset. It's like so draining.
So you're a Mopec?
Yep.
Wow.
It's so draining to like feel connected to so many people.
Right, that makes a lot of sense. Would you say that makes you compassion fatigued?
Yeah. Some days you
yeah.
just want to be like, screw you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's not.
Well, why don't you? Well, no, because that's not right. but that is interesting because like you're not meant to bear that many crosses. You know what I mean? You're not meant to take on that many responsibilities emotionally.
Like you're good at whenever you're getting like overloaded. You're like, okay. I need a break.
Right.
I need to step out. You can do that. I can't do that. I don't know how to do that.
What do you mean?
Like I don't know how to be like, okay, Michael, I need some space. Like I just can't do. Like I don't know how to do that.
I got you. Well, it's easy for me because my first response to anything is flight.
Yeah.
So it's really easy for me.
That has its issues in itself. Too.
Yeah. So like, it's a double-edged sword, but I can kind of see that. It's interesting because I'm definitely not that way. I do have compassion for people. I love people, but I will say I can. Sometimes it gets overwhelming, but for the most part, when I'm listening to people's problems, it doesn't affect my day at all. Like, I'm very good at separating those. So I can deal with my stuff. And, I try not to take on too many people's problems anyway, but, if somebody shares something with me and, like, we're talking. In that moment, I'm with you and I'm very emotional about that, and it's real. But I can put it aside whenever need be, and I think actually, I have no idea what it is. So... That's really interesting. Is that like a personality thing, or is that like, what is that?
Being empathic?
Kind of.
Well, it depends. Like, sometimes it can be a personality thing. It's just how you deal with like other people's emotions.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Like,
so, go ahead. Yeah. How you deal with other people. So it's just like how people process other people's emotions differently. Is it different than how they process their own emotions, or is it about the same?
It's different.
Interesting. That's so interesting.
Yeah. There's like, I would say a human being is like a puzzle, little puzzles.
Right.
And everyone has like different puzzle pieces, and each person's like a different mixture of puzzle colors.
Yeah. Okay.
Not all of us are the same. Like I think labels in psychology are important. I think knowing what you struggle with, your personality type, is important, just so you have that introspective of yourself.
Yeah.
So like Michael puzzle pieces could be like anxiety, INFJB, whatever that thing, whatever your number is.
Yeah.
Type.
I'm like a 6.
Yeah, type A and number 6, like, and that's his personal mixology of what makes him him.
Right.
And it's important to know these things because it gives you an introspective, and it gives you the ability to like be more proactive about the relationships you're having with other people.
Oh yeah.
We interrupt this message to bring you another message.
Thank you so much for checking out the Worship Warrior podcast, You Don't Suck College Does. If you're finding this episode useful in any way, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, Zap Music, to check out this and much more that me and Anna do that are not podcast related.
If you want to stay even more connected with us, you can follow us both on Instagram, @Anatastic and @Zap_Music1.
Or, if you want to keep up with just the podcast, you can listen to it on YouTube @Zap Music, or listen to it on Spotify.
Now back to the original message.
You know what I mean? Like, with my deeper understanding of my issues, I'm like, hey, Michael, I really struggle with, like, being a different person outside of this relationship. And we've had conversations like that because we've been able to give ourselves this vocab. Sorry, we totally went off base.
No, I'm listening to you.
But yeah.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
But yeah, I think that's important. I think if you're ever having a problem with someone or in a relationship or something, I think the first thing you need to look into is like discovering each person's like puzzle pieces.
Right, that makes a lot of sense. I agree with that too. We've learned a lot from each other by doing that. Because I will say, I would have never taken the initiative to do that. You did. You took the time to say, hey, let's figure this out. Let's take this stuff. Let's talk about this stuff and be like, you know, how do we process this? And I was like, I really don't want to do that. That's like a lot of work. But you were like, I insist. And you also strapped me down to a chair and kept me captive for 5 days. But it has really benefited us, actually, because I understand you a lot more now. And I think you understand me too.
Yeah.
You know, one of the biggest things we had, I said I'm a fighter, in fight or flight, I'm a flight. One of the biggest issues we had is that when we did get an argument, I wouldn't say anything right away.
Yeah.
I would not say a single word, and I would leave.
Yeah.
Usually. I wouldn't just get up and leave, but I would say...
No, he'd get up and leave.
No, that's not true.
He'd say, I'm leaving.
No, I said I need to get some space. And the only reason for that is because that is how I process it. I need to think about what is happening and what I'm going to say. And you don't think that way.
No.
You like to deal with it right then and there.
And then we looked into our personality types and we figured out why that is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. My last question to you before we wrap up. No, it's good. This article is pretty cool, but I'll link it. It's pretty cool. That was just one part of it. But to wrap up, I have a question for you. What does the crucifixion mean to you?
This is like, we like jumped from one topic to the other.
I know, but I wanted us to just bang that in your face. That was on purpose.
What does the crucifixion mean to me? Crucifixion. Yeah. Mean to me.
What's the cross? What's that mean to you?
That Jesus died for you, for your sins, and it's crazy to think of anybody dying for you.
Yeah.
But someone did.
That's hard to do. Especially for people who don't really like. Well, think about it like this: if you're Jesus, it's like, you know, for your family, like you would die for them, right?
Yeah.
But like for everybody, even like the bad people.
Yeah,
even the people, even the evil people, right?
Yeah.
You die for them too, would you?
No.
Right? It's crazy.
I know me, I wouldn't.
And so like he did. To me, I look at it as like kind of like how most Christians look at it, and it's like Jesus is like the ultimate sacrifice. And one thing I've really been diving into this whole semester is this idea of sacrifice. You know, I've looked into myself and I've realized, and we've talked about it, I've talked about it a little here, I've talked more about it with my counselor, is that I do have a lot of, and you know, I believe this is true for most people, but you know, we are very much in a me culture.
Yeah.
I have a lot of tendencies to be like, well, why don't I get to do this? And why don't I just take this? And most of the time I do take whatever I want. And it's become an issue. And it's like, you know, I don't want to be like that, you know? That selfish like way of thinking. And I look at Jesus as like the ultimate sacrifice, you know? He died for our sins, and we all know that. But more than that, you know, and I asked I was talking about this with my counselor, you know, we was chilling, smoking a blunt. I'm kidding.
Dang.
Just kidding. It's a Christian campus. You know, and we were just like, and I was like, you know, I just, you know, I think about all this sacrifice, and I think about, like, you know, that's the Christian way, and then I'm thinking, like, you know, I'm rambling to her about this, and I'm like, you know, and it's just like, no, but I want to do this, and I want to do that, and I think it's okay to do that, and I think it's okay to self-indulge, and then I'm thinking, you know, but that's not the Christian way, and also, Anna told me one time that if you're living for yourself, what's the point? You know, the point is living for others, and it's just like, well, that's what Jesus did, and then it's like, what if the whole point of life is to sacrifice? And then it's like, whoa. I stopped right there, and I was like, ouch. And that's what I see it as. That was the ultimate sacrifice, and that's, you know, as a Christian, you do a lot of that.
Yeah.
You do sacrifice a lot, and, you know, sometimes you don't see it as fair. I don't see it as fair all the time.
Yeah.
And you can attest to that. But it is better.
Yeah, that leads back to what we talked about last episode.
Exactly.
When we do end up self-indulging,
it's very temporary.
It's very temporary.
You never feel full. Mm-hmm. I've never felt more full than whenever I was following Christ completely. And, you know, when I step off the wagon a bit, I'm searching again for that feeling, and I search it in the wrong place.
Yeah.
I have to remember that Jesus died for us. Like, you know what I mean? What does that mean? You know? And I think it goes a little deeper. You know, Jesus died for us. And it saved us from our sins. That's why we're saved. Even more than that, what does that mean for us? How do we live from knowing that? So, I want to challenge y'all. Look into yourself. Think about the crucifixion. Go back into the Gospels. Matthew is a great one. But all the Gospels talk about this, and read about this. And, you know, what does that mean? Do you believe in the ultimate sacrifice? And I'm genuinely asking you, because I will never say I know everything, and I don't know much at all. Mm-hmm. And it's a genuine question. You know, what does this mean to y'all? And let us know. Comment down below. Email us, worshipwarrior99@gmail.com. You know? What else you gotta say? Anything else?
Text me.
No. I will kill you. I'm kidding.
Your mom texts me.
Stay off the phone. But yeah.
Yeah.
I want to leave this season with a question, and that's my question.
That's a good question.
What does that mean? What does Jesus dying for us actually mean? And we'll revisit that maybe. Or maybe we'll forget. But yeah. You have anything else to add?
It's a good ending for me.
Me too. Thank you, everybody, for your support. Mm-hmm. It's been a blast.
Yeah.
And again, this is by no means the end. This is just a temporary end of the season for many more seasons to come. So, you know, this is the end of season 1.
It's been awesome.
And thank you, Anna. Couldn't have done it without you. Really. You've been supportive on screen and off the screen. You know, you don't get to see what she does, but she puts up with me a lot. And it's not easy. I change my mind a lot. And I work very conscientiously. So thank you for keeping up with that. And I love you.
I love you too.
And so with that, Warriors, we are going to go ahead and sign off this season of the Worship Warrior podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you got something out of it. And if you did get something out of it, please contact us on Instagram or leave a comment down below. We want to hear your stories. Again, thank you so much for listening. Have a blessed and beautiful day. And we'll all be seeing you real soon.